All right, now that we have the monkey bar subassembly done, we're going to get started on the platform subassembly. So to make the platform assembly, we need to bring in the main platform and 4 main poles. So we go back to Inventor, make sure that we are in the right project path, and we are. Go to New, English, Standard.iam, and we're going to place our main platform. And the main platform should have been made off the top view according to the drawing. Right click OK, and we need to ground this and make this our pin piece, because this the main platform is going to serve as our anchor piece for the remainder of our assemblies. So right click, grounded. That has now become our pin piece. Next, we're going to place 4 main poles into our assembly. So go to place, and you will need to find your main poles. So 1, 2, 3, 4, right click, OK. And then to constrain them, I know in the directions it says to use it, insert constraint, but we're going to use a mate constraint to put these in and flush the tops of the the main poles to the main platform. So constrain, I'm going to pick the center line of the main pole, zoom in, click the center line of the hole, left click, click apply. I'm going to click the center line of the pole, zoom in, center line of the hole, click apply, center line of the pole, center line of the hole, click apply, center line of the pole, center line of the hole, click apply. Now I've got one more constraint because I've got a couple of degrees of freedom left. The poles slide in and out of the hole. I obviously don't want to do that. What constraint am I going to use in order to put the poles and make them flush with the top? Correct. I'm going to use a flush constraint. So I'm going to go to constrain. I'm going to select the flush option. I'm going to select the top of the main pole with the top of the main platform. Click apply. Select the top of the main pole, top of the platform. Apply. Top of the main pole, top of the platform, apply. Zoom out a little bit. Select the top of the pole, top of the main platform. Select apply. All right. So now we have our main platform done. Now, according to our directions, we're going to bring in the tri-platform. According to our directions, the widest corner needs to be the front of the tri-platform. Because remember, if we're looking at this and this is our view, this would be the top, this would be the front, this would be the right side. And according to our directions, we need to put 2 short poles opposite the right side of our tri-platform. Now this is going to take a little bit of maneuvering on your part. So the first thing to do is to bring in the tri-platform. So we're going to find the tri-platform. Left click, right click, OK. Now I need to rotate this tri-platform in order to put this in the right orientation, because the diagonal is facing my left. So I'm going to go to free rotate. I'm going to click on the free rotate, and I'm going to rotate this around to get this in the right orientation so that the diagonal is facing my right. I also want to make sure that the widest corner here is facing the front. So just to double check, I'm going to go to Inspect from the Quick Access toolbar, go to Distance. I'm going to select pick the 2 corners here, and that is the widest corner. So that makes this corner up here in the upper left-hand corner, the 6-inch corner. So this is in the right orientation. I'm now going to place 2 poles, 2 short poles, in this hole and in this hole. So I'm going to go to Assemble, I'm going to go to Place, and I'm going to place 2 short poles into the subassembly. 1, 2, right-click, OK. The process to constrain the poles is exactly the same. You're going to mate the central line of the poles and flush the tops with this tri-platform. Constrain. I'm going to drag this out of the way. Select the center line. Select the center line of the hole. select apply, select the center line of the pole, the center line of the hole, click apply, and click flush. Flush the top of the pole with the top of the platform, click apply. Flush the top of the pole with the top of the platform, click apply. All right. So this platform is now assembled. We won't be able to rotate it because as a subassembly, we're missing some relationships, because we need to remember that everything in Inventor is about relationships. And the reason we use constraints in the first place is to show the relationships between objects and how we want them to behave in the real world, so how they interact. And that's what the constraints show us. So in order to constrain this, I need to pick this pole here. So I'm going to go to constrain, and I'm going to click the bottom of my home. Actually, I'm going to close this. I'm going to select the bottom of my home cube. So I'm looking at the whole assembly, and I want to pick this pole. So I'm going to go to constrain. I want to align the center line of this pole. I'm going to go home, and I want to align that pole with the center line of this main pole here. I'm going to click apply. Close the constraint dialog box. I've got 2 degrees of freedom left. Now this pole is aligned with the main pole. The short pole is aligned with the main pole. What I need to do now is I need to select the bottom of this pole and do what to the main platform? What constraint am I going to have to use in order to limit my degrees of freedom? Am I going to use a mate or a flush? Correct, I'm going to use a mate. So I'm going to go to constrain, I'm going to go to mate, I'm going to select the top of the main platform, I'm going to select the bottom of that pole, and to get to the bottom of the pole, I'm going to select this corner of my view cube, select the bottom of the pole, select apply, close the dialog box, go home. Now I've got 1 more degree of freedom left. Now I've created a hinge. Now I've got this rotation. How do I limit the rotation? This is going to be an unfamiliar constraint for those of you that don't remember this. Now I need to use a angle constraint. I can't use a flush constraint. I'm going to use an angle constraint to limit the motion or restrict the motion. So I'm going to go to constrain. I'm going to select the angle constraint, which is right here. Here's the angle constraint. And I'm going to select directed angle, which is right here. Directed angle. I'm going to click the front of the tri-platform. I'll zoom in. I'm going to select the front of the tri-platform, the front of the main platform. Make sure angle is set at 0 degrees. Click apply. Close the dialog box. This is now set in place. There's one more thing that I need to do. I have 1 hole that still needs to be filled, and according to our directions, that needs to have a long pole placed into the assembly. So I'm going to go back to Inventor, go to Place, and I'm going to find a long pole. And again, the process is the same. You're going to make the center line of the pole with the center line of the hole. And then what am I going to use to flush the top of the pole with the top of the platform? Exactly, flush. Flush the top of the pole, top of the tri-platform. Click apply. That is now fully constrained. You are now done with the platform subassembly. And your platform subassembly should look similar to this.